Welcome to Oddball. I'm Charlotte Wilder. That's Amin Elhassan, still here in New York. Very excited for today's show because we know something.
We know a lot of things
about the NBA, the NBA Emirates Cup.
Yes, we know everything about the Emirates NBA Cup. We know who's going to be playing. We know when they're playing. We know where they're playing. But Charlotte, you know something that everyone's like, yeah, we all know. We can Google a schedule. But you and I know who's going to win.
We do.
And that's the difference. That's why this show is special.
That is different. We are locked in for this tournament, and it's time for our certainty, which is our NBA edition of Overreaction Action.
There it is.
This is where we go through the bracket game by game, and we make our picks way too early because these games are on Tuesday.
Yes.
Next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday,
and
December 10th.
Today is Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday.
So a lot can change.
Look.
But I still think we're going to be right.
I think I like going with my gut. Like, give me more information on who's available. No, I need to pick now, right now. No.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the West, with the seeds. The number 1 seed is the Thunder. Rockets are at 2. Warriors are at 3. The Mavs are in 4th, which is that wild card spot.
That's what they got for blowing people out. That point differential, healthy.
Yep, that's where that point differential really came in handy. So let's start with game 1. It's Thunder versus Mavs.
Congratulations.
On Tuesday, December 10th at 9:30 p.m. on TNT, in case you're wondering how to watch. That was for SEO. Remember when you used to do the blog? Maybe you didn't. I did. Blog posts of like how to watch the Super Bowl, like how to watch
you know what? I still Google that, like stuff like that, because I'm like, I like having all that information.
Exactly,
like,
but you have it ready to go, and then your website just gets the most clicks.
Look,
anyway,
it works.
The Thunder clinched last night thanks to a blowout win over the Jazz, 133-106, and the Suns won over the Spurs, which means that we have a hot streak of 1. Yeah, because we said that the Thunder were going to win by more than 14.5.
We knew that they needed a big enough margin because that's the difference between them winning the group and the Suns winning the group, because the Suns beat the Spurs as well. They were 3-1, but the point differential wasn't quite there because the Mavs laid on thick. So shout out to Dallas for playing the game the right way.
You got to run that score up. It's like kind of jarring to me, to be honest, because, at the end of every game, it's a regular season game. If you're up by 20, you're not going to try to go up by 30.
Yeah, like for the most part, if it's a big blowout and the other team isn't looking threatening, you instruct your guys, all right, guys, let's run as much shot clock off so that every position is like 23 seconds, whatever. We're not just going to hold it and punt, basically, but, get a shot, but don't like fast break, get out here trying to run up the score.
Right.
But in cup play, because the point differential is so important, teams are incentivized to go do exactly that. If we're winning by 30, I want to win by 40. If we're winning by 40, I want to win by 50. So we see weird, and vice versa. If we're down by 25, I want to be, look, we're not going to win this game, but can I lose by like 18 instead? So what you see in a lot of these games is like, why is this dude still in the game? It's like, because we're trying to do something here, man.
Yeah. I thought that multiple times watching these cup games. I'm like, Shea's still out there. Yep. Oh, right. I saw someone say something like, we should use point differential in more places in the league, like determining playoff spots. And it does factor in, but it's like 6th in the list of things that factor in.
So it's like the way it goes is it's your record, your head-to-head record, your division record, your conference record, and then I think it's point differential. I don't know. I like head-to-head because it's the easiest thing. Like, who's better? Well, we beat their ass 3 times out of 4. All right, cool. And then if you're in the same division, I think your division record should matter. Maybe conference record is the one we could toss out and then move up point differential there. Yeah. But already we're still talking about layers of bureaucracy before we get there. I don't know. I don't think the answer is to have, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on the floor of a game when his team's up 30. That's not the answer. The reality is we're searching at all ways of how to extend these guys' careers and keep them healthy and keep them fresh. The idea no, we should play them 48 minutes because of point differential, kind of stinky.
Yeah, I agree. I think it works for the cup in limited quantities and especially early in the season.
4 games, if you really think about it. It's only for 4 games.
Yeah.
So.
So the Mavs got that wild card spot, as we said. They finished qualifying with the best point differential in the West. They were down 15 at one point in the fourth quarter, but they came back to win. Last night, Luka had 37 points. He was 5 of 9 from 3, and he's back off of an injury. And it seems like everyone saying Luka was washed was incorrect.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like, a lot of times guys play hurt before they eventually say, I can't play, I'm hurt.
Yeah.
And so when they come back, it's not like he was like on the beach kicking his feet up and I'm so rested. It's like he was working, but he was like, it was rehab. It was getting better. And so now he feels better. He feels healthy. He plays better. And sometimes it's like, it's just as simple as that.
Yeah.
So
we got to make our picks.
We do have to make our picks. Thunder versus Mavs. What you got? At OKC.
Thunder.
You're going to OKC?
I'm going OKC.
You're going to OKC.
Yeah. I mean, with Luka playing well and, Kyrie, and they beat the Thunder last year in the playoffs, but I think that might give OKC more fuel to beat them this time in the NBA Cup.
I'm going the opposite way. I think anytime you have one and done single elimination status, you have two guys that are incredible shot makers, incredible scorers, and Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. I think they're going to win. Also, remember, OKC's size issues are still an issue. Chet Holmgren still isn't back. Neither is the other Jalen Williams. And Dallas is a team that plays bully ball in the rim, at the rim. So I got Dallas winning.
All right. Well, may the best too early pick win. Yeah. All right. Game 2, we have the Rockets versus the Warriors. So this matchup is because the Warriors' loss 119-115 in Denver made them fall to the wild card spot. Let me talk about Denver real quick. I mean, Jokic had 38 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, and 5 steals. And in the 8 minutes that he sat, the Nuggets were outscored by 19 points. And at one point, I think it might have been in the second quarter when Jokic was on the bench and they were up by 10. And then I think the oh my God, I'm blanking. Who were they playing?
The Warriors.
Oh my God, thank you. The Warriors. And then the Warriors
it's on the screen, by the way.
I was like,
jog your memory.
The Warriors went up by 8 and, Michael Malone is like, get back into the game, Jokic. And he goes to the scores table. And as he's entering the game, he rolls his eyes in a way that I don't know I've ever seen an athlete just like total frustration. But then he goes in and he wins.
I'll tell you what that eye roll is. It is an eye roll of a parent.
Yes.
Because as a parent, you're like, okay, guys, all right, you guys do this. I'll be right over here. I'll be right back. And you take one step away and there's already a fire. Like,
and
I can't leave you guys for 30 seconds unsupervised.
No.
I can't. That's how he feels.
Yeah.
I can't leave these guys unsupervised on the court.
I look away for 5 minutes.
And boom, you blew it all.
Anyway, the Warriors have lost 5 in a row after a 12-3 start. And they had a late lead against the Nuggets, but blew it. They were up 7 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. And Draymond Green is getting an MRI on his left calf injury. He said, quote, I'll be 100% honest, I'm a little afraid on his own show when he was talking to Baron Davis. Is he being dramatic?
Look, here's the deal. Like, if this was post-game, like, media availability, which I got to see last Saturday, and which was a thrilling thing. It's funny to watch him try to save all the good answers.
For his own show?
Yeah, absolutely. Because they ask him a question like, do you guys feel like, there's morale or whatever? It's like, no. Like, that's how he answers everything. Like, there's a pause and he's like squinting at like this box score, but I know he's like, okay, how can I say this in a way so that when I do it on the show later, it's like all this,
he needs the word salad answer so that he can save the meaty answer.
The good stuff,
yeah.
So, look, that would be a very viral episode. Draymond Green, uncertain about his calf injury. Like, that's big news because if it's real, like, not the injury, but if the injury is really serious the way he's kind of alluding to there, then I think that's the season for the Warriors. Yeah, no, dude, they can't replace what he does.
Yeah.
He is in a weird way. People,
on court and off, or just on?
I'm going to stick to on court. I mean, like, he could be all that rah-rah stuff, in a walking boot or whatever. But this is something I've felt for years, and I think it shocks people when I say it. Steph Curry is a great player. He's way greater than Draymond Green. But Draymond Green, I think, is the most irreplaceable part.
Wow.
Because he makes so much stuff happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you can win a championship with Steph Curry. I'm saying that you can coast for some time without him with a good enough, because the system's good, as long as you got good enough talent. And like Buddy Hield is a good enough shooter.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can kind of fake it, and then we're going to lock down defensively and all that stuff. You take Draymond Green out there, I don't think they could defend at the same level. I think they don't move the ball as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think so many things are hinging on his presence.
Yeah.
He's the most irreplaceable guy. And you know, as he gets older, you're going to need to replace him. Right? And so to me, the championship window probably closes if Draymond Green's not out there. And obviously, Steph Curry's not out there, it closes as well. But Draymond is like, even if you say, oh, but he'll be back in March. I don't know if they can survive that long without him.
Wow.
So this is a big deal.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just great ratings for his podcast.
Yeah, or maybe it's just good content. But I hope it's the latter. In some, I don't want him to be hurt. But on to the Rockets. The Rockets would have had the top seed in the West with a win over the Kings last night, but they lost 120 to 111, and everyone was pissed at the refs and at the officiating. Ime Udoka got a tech for going off on the officials, and he discussed the refs after the game.
Blatant missed calls right in front of you. You know, you're calling ticky-tack, moving screens, and little shit like that, and then you don't want to call the obvious ones right in front of you. So that was it. Alpi got fouled a few times on that drive and on the layup, and they don't want to call it. And so get some glasses, open your eyes.
Ooh, okay, that is the scariest kind of coach when they're very calm, but they're swearing.
He's talking like this.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, he's...
Yeah. You know, I gotta say, that's a very 20 CB. Telling the refs to go to Lens Crafters or whatever during the halftime. That is a very 20th century thing. Like we don't really do that anymore.
Yeah, are you online? Go to Warby Parker, man.
Yeah. Like, oh wow,
that would really,
dude. Ime, look at me. Where am I at? Ime, we can do this, man. I'll get the sales team on it. We'll get you this Warby Parker endorsement deal. Just go ahead and go. Or Lens Crafters. We could go old school if you want.
Yeah, I feel like he's an old school guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rockets against the Warriors. We have to make our picks. The Rockets have not beaten the Warriors since 2020.
Jesus,
they
how's that possible?
I don't know. They face each other tomorrow before the NBA Cup game as well. So this will be 2 games in 6 days. And I just think it's like, I wish Draymond were playing for this, because Dylan Brooks against Draymond Green is like theater. Who are you taking here?
I'm going with Warby Parker and the Houston Rockets.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Why?
Because the Warriors haven't played well in quite a while.
True.
You know, we didn't talk about a whole lot, but DeAnthony Melton tearing his ACL, that was a big loss for them because he was really good. He was like the perfect Warriors player for them. Defends, shoots threes, knows how to play, all that stuff. And now we've got this uncertainty with Draymond Green. But I think even if Draymond is all right and he plays, like for Houston, this is a bigger deal, more important. For Golden State, there's a level of this where like, okay, or we could just get these next nights off rather than go to Vegas and have to do this whole thing.
Right.
And for a team that has some older players, it's important. For Houston, like these are all the things where as we prepare for what's going to happen in April, May, and maybe June, like we need that real life experience of being in a high stakes environment. So all these things matter for them. Yeah. And I think Ime is going to treat it as such. And I think the young players want to win. They want to let people know, hey, we're for real. Kind of like what happened with Indiana a year ago. Yeah, we saw that. And then they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. Yep. So, all right, I'm going to go with the Rockets too. I like that. I sold her. Okay, when we come back, the East. Welcome back to Oddball. I mean, it's time for the East for our way too early predictions about who is going to win. Overreaction action. Yeah. Oh, look at that bracket. It's beautiful. Wow. Look at that. Gorgeous. Right from NBA.com, ladies and gentlemen. Only the best. We love it. All right. So the East, we've got the Bucks at 1, Knicks at 2, Hawks at 3, and the Magic are in that 4th wild card spot. So the first game, Bucks versus Magic on Monday. The Bucks beat the Pistons 128 to 107. They sure did last night, and the Pistons had been undefeated in group play. We were on the verge of something really funny happening, which was the Pistons being in the NBA Cup. But alas, we can't have
nice things. They never trailed after the 7-minute mark, and they led by as many as 26. The Bucks shot 69% from the field in the first half. I mean, the Bucks have now won 7 straight and 9 of their last 10. They started 2-8, and they're now 11-9. They have the best point differential in the league, and Giannis is looking, dare I say, MVP candidate worthy lately. What's going on? They were so bad, and now it's like they're taking off.
I mean, it's almost like you start playing against teams and your season turns around miraculously because, like, look, I get it. Everyone was kind of circling the wagons and were trying to say, "Oh, I don't know about the Bucks, man. I think they got to break it." Remember, they're trying to trade Giannis and try to trade Dame, and everyone was basically, "Oh, come on, man." I've tried to go to Basketball Reference to pull up the schedule and went to baskets.com. Why would it go to basketball?
Do they have like nice wicker ones? Nice.
They actually do. It's funny.
Amin's getting sidetracked.
Yeah. But anyway, so you have this, kind of sky is falling situation, and they start 2-8, and then they start winning. And now everyone's like, "Oh my God, the Bucks, what changed? What happened? And what kind of kumbaya?" And I'm like, dude, look at who they've beaten on this stretch, basically since they've, turned it around. Toronto.
Okay.
Detroit in overtime. And Giannis had like 8 billion points in that game. They lost to Charlotte. Houston, that's a good win. Chicago. Indiana. Charlotte. Miami, good win, I guess. Washington. And then Detroit. Like, so the cure is just to play teams?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Wow.
No, that's true. I do feel, though, that maybe that's the moment, like being like, oh, we can win, even if it is against teams, can keep them going. Vinny Goodwill, who was on Trivia Tuesday with us yesterday, he had a great piece on this where he asked, Giannis and Dame and Doc Rivers if they were panicked, and they said they weren't. And I feel like this, to me, seems like a, fake it till you make it situation where, like, they probably were a little panicked, but you say you weren't, you keep going. And the NBA Cup could be a catalyst for this Bucks team to get some confidence back.
So this is the turning point, is what you're saying.
I think so.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to tell you this. If they win the NBA Cup, they'll have to have beaten Orlando, who's a very good team. They'll have to beat the winner of Knicks Hawks, which you expect to be the Knicks, who's a very good team. And then they'd have to beat whoever comes out of the West, which is either the Warriors, the Rockets, the Mavs, or the Thunder, all of whom are really good teams. They're going to have to beat 3 really good teams pretty much in order to win this thing. So to me, it's like, maybe you're right. Maybe it is fake it till you make it. They've faked it by beating up on these losers, for lack of a better term. And now they're going to have to beat up some real ones.
Yeah, it's like a real test.
A real test. If you win it, you know what?
We'll see. Okay, the Magic needed to beat the Knicks or lose by 37 or less to advance, and they cut it as close as possible. Last night, the Magic outscored the Knicks 31-15 in the fourth quarter to advance. Are you on the Franz Wagner hype train?
Dude, man, look.
Have you been on it?
I mean, like, I'm not going to be like, act like, oh, I've been known. Like, man, I was like, oh, he's playing really good.
Yeah.
A lot of it was because I was one of the people who said, man, Paolo's out. Well, I hope you guys can hold down the fort till he gets back.
Right.
And they lost 3 or 4 out the gate when he got hurt. And I'm like, oh, it's not looking good. And then since then, they've been unstoppable. I mean, last night, notwithstanding, they won like 9 of 10 or 13 of 15, something ridiculous like that as far as a streak of winning. And Franz Wagner has been incredible. He's been incredible throughout this all. So I must give him his kudos.
All right. They're your kudos, Franz. So Bucks Magic, who are you taking?
I'm going with the team of destiny. I'm going with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to do that.
Yeah. Look, hey, I told the guys, look, hey, we got a chance to do something special here.
Thank you, Doc.
Yeah.
Cool. Good. Oh man.
What you got?
I was going to take the Bucks, but now I'm second guessing myself. No, I'm going to take the Bucks. I'm taking the Bucks.
Does that mean you third guessed yourself?
Yeah, I third guessed myself and I went back to the Bucks. So we both have the Bucks in that spot. All right, game 2 is Knicks versus Hawks. I mean, as we said, the Knicks really handled the Magic pretty handily in Madison Square Garden to win their group. 6 players for the Knicks scored in double digits. All 5 starters and Deuce McBride off the bench, whose name is a double digit, if you think about it.
There you go, Deuce.
Josh Hart, after the win, discussed what he would do with the money if they won the NBA Cup, and here's what he said.
I don't really care about the young guys getting murdered. I just care about me, what I'm going to spend. You're an asshole. I'm just keeping it 100. I want a new watch, so I might get that.
So this is because Brunson before that had said, "Oh, I'm gonna get doing this so that the young guys and the two-way." Jalen Brunson did the Boy Scout quote, and so Josh Hart
Josh Hart, he's a troll. I love whenever Josh Hart gets on a microphone. He did say he wanted the new AP Audemars Piguet.
It's French.
Yeah, whatever. Nice watch. Royal Oak, maybe. I've looked at Instagram before. The Knicks also have the #1 offense in the NBA. I mean, when did that happen?
When they started hitting all those threes. Look, man, Karl Anthony Towns is like, again, there's a lot of things to make fun of him about and kind of question or whatever, but like, he's pretty good offensively. Like that.
Yeah.
And, we talked about how he spaces the floor for them. It makes life so much easier for Jalen Brunson, gives him those driving lanes. So he's got a lot more freedom of movement, which is going to be interesting because Orlando's one of the best defenses. But last night, not so much.
Right.
So we'll see down the line if the Knicks advance. They're going to have to see either Orlando or maybe Thunder, maybe the Rockets, maybe the Warriors. All these teams are really good defenses.
Defenses. Yeah. Well, let's build out this bracket. Let's see what that would look like. Because right now we have made our picks for the East and the West.
Did we? Did you pick Knicks versus Hawks?
Sorry, Knicks. Sorry.
Okay.
My bad. So the Hawks are the most confusing team in the NBA because they beat the Cavs and the Celtics and then they lose twice to the Wizards.
Yeah.
And I don't understand what is going on.
They beat the Cavs twice, by the way. They didn't even beat the Cavs twice. No, so this is the weird thing. I want to say Knicks easily, but it's Trae Young in Madison Square Garden. He is the ultimate villain. And this is the perfect setting for an upset, for him to just go out there and be the villain and take the bow and the Knicks fans to go crazy. And are you going to be outside of Madison Square Garden next week?
I mean, I think we have to be.
You have to, man.
But now that it's Hawks Knicks, you kidding me? The content
begs it.
I mean, F. Trae Young, even when he's not in the building, imagine what it's like when he is.
When he is in the building,
and there are stakes.
There are stakes.
Okay, so right now,
Omaha.
In the West, Thunder, Mavs, Rockets, Warriors.
You had Thunder. I had Mavs.
Yeah,
we both had Rockets. So Rockets versus Thunder versus Mavs. Who do you got?
Either Thunder or Mavs.
Whatever one comes out.
Yeah, I think.
I would agree with you there. I think the Rockets go to Vegas, losing the semifinal.
Yeah.
All right. Now in the East, we've got Bucks and Magic and Knicks and Hawks. Bucks, Magic. We both have the Bucks, I believe.
Yeah.
Magic and the Knicks and Hawks.
Okay, so Bucks. Let's play out Bucks Knicks.
I
think it's Knicks.
I think the Hawks. I mean, Trae Young.
You think the Hawks are going to?
I think Trae Young might like he's liable to go for it. Look, Trae Young in Madison Square Garden.
Okay,
this is like the center point of all of his energies, where he became a national star really on the NBA level. Was in a elimination type environment in Madison Square Garden.
All right. Well, if you want to bet on the Hawks to win it all, that is you can get that for plus 2,200.
I am gonna go with my pick is the Bucks. I'm going the Bucks to win it all. I think Giannis is gonna be MVP. By the way, Bucks are plus 500 on the DraftKings Sportsbook. Okay,
I'm taking the Knicks because I said that before, and they are the best. I mean, they're the favorite at plus 310. But I want to be right. I mean, and I think that in a Tom Thibodeau led team, what better way than keeping your starters out there mentality to win the NBA Cup?
Who do you got for MVP?
Brunson.
I mean, like, what are you going to do? Like Josh Hart? Like,
right. Well, I was thinking Cat. What if he just goes off and hits a bunch of threes? Brunson at plus 425. I mean,
yeah, I'm going Giannis.
Giannis?
Plus 650, yeah.
All right.
That's if Trae Young doesn't do that. What's Trae Young?
Talked yourself
is Trae
into
Young
it?
on the board?
Trae Young is not on the board.
Hey, plus 4,000, dude, I'm telling you. Hey, plus 2,200, Hawks win it all, plus 4,000. Trae Young is your NBA Emirates Cup MVP. You know what?
Are you doing this?
let me fire up the app right now.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I did not see us going there, but I guess by transitive property, the Hawks are the best team in the East, and they're gonna win the NBA
They sure
Cup.
are. Hold
but
on,
it's gonna be the Knicks. I stand by it.